Good morning, Voodoo. How goes the battle
Good
today?
morning. Dude,
The
I
Super
am
Bowl last night?
yeah, man. It was awesome. There was like every other commercial was an NFT or crypto exchange. It was absurd. It was awesome.
It was crazy when the Coinbase one came on and that little QR code starts bouncing around the screen. My whole family's sitting there going, did we just lose a stream? What's going on? It took about 15 seconds for me to go, oh, I think I got to scan that. Sure enough, scanned it, and then Coinbase broke.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's when I was like, win Phantom. Win Phantom Coinbase. Come on.
Right.
My
Well,
favorite
I'm
was
excited
the
to.
Slottopia commercial.
Yeah.
Hey,
We need an ultra rare Slothopia avatar with a Doritos bag.
dude, that that should be it. That's a genius idea. Or just like an extra like wearable thing that you can purchase later for your sloth.
Oh,
So
that'd be
that'd be
awesome.
awesome.
Uh, I'm really looking forward to today's episode because this gets into kind of our GameFi love, and we've been trying to bring all this
Yeah.
utility to the Labs token that is coming, for our ecosystem token, to our NFTs that we're continuously launching. So I'm excited to get into this one. We got Weaponized Countries coming on today.
Yes. So we had Triton. Apparently, anything that has to do with GameFi and Phantom, I think Triton is involved because we just had him on with bobbleheads because he is one of the main cogs in that wheel, making that happen. But weaponized countries, of course. I think when most people, if they know Triton, they think about weaponized countries and what he's done there. And so, obviously, it's a project that I think you've been talking about for a long time because they predate Potluck Labs. I think we talked the other day by 5 months. They've been around 5 months longer than we have, and they've been building and building and building. And tomorrow is finally the launch of their game, and so I'm excited to talk with them about it. And so we've got Triton and Kool Aid Man on, and so we can join or add them to the broadcast here. Kool Aid Man may look like a weaponized country's graphic, but that's just because he is not doxxed. Okay, so everyone give him grief in the chat about not being doxxed, but welcome on Kool Aid Man first, so that not talking over each other. How you doing? Thank you for coming on, man.
For having us. Honestly, it's kind of an honor to be able to work with Potluck in one respect or another. You guys have been doing great things, and I think you've kind of accelerated to the top of the big players in the Phantom space and the NFT space. So we've definitely been watching you guys grow, and we've been super impressed. And I'm excited to talk about the game, and having Tinfoil here, it kind of feels like everything's coming full circle because he was quite literally, I think, the first person to give us the time of day back when we launched. Like, he was the one who gave a shit. He's the one who said, let these guys that no one knows about yet talk. Like, I want to hear what they have to say. So being able to come back and talk with him for like in prep for the game tomorrow is honestly like brings a tear to my eye.
I appreciate that big time, man. You gets me emotional because it's been such a fun journey. There has been these projects and artists that just haven't got the love that I've personally felt that it should get it. But it's just cool to see everybody kind of go along this journey, and the builders build, man. That's the one thing. Like, we get into this idea. I always talk about it, the idea of betting on people. Um, yeah, you guys are one of these teams where it's an easy bet. Well, I guess let's get into what's going on with weaponized countries. So we're gonna have to kind of go from the start because there's gonna be a lot of people listening to this project that don't exactly know what all is going on here. So Triton, do you want to get into what is weaponized countries?
So, if I were to dumb it down, weaponized countries is Kool Aid Man's sleepy, crazy idea. But we turned it into something big where we wanted to represent how global crypto is, but also just like to have something fun and lighthearted that still really touches on how global crypto is. Not like laughing at politics or anything, but just like kind of bringing everything down to a simple level and making people have fun with it, just like the trading cards we used to have as kids do. And initially, it was the trading card collection. We had plans for GameFi. We hadn't figured out the engineering or anything like that yet. And fast forwarding to now, we've designed a way to launch a full trading card ecosystem within the Weaponized Countries space, where these cards, the geography, the themes, the funny parts, the serious parts, all of that comes together to make a game where you can kick the shit out of each other. So I'm really excited to get that out there.
No, I love it. Kool-Aid man, I do want to dive into the idea behind this. I mean, when we talked long ago in the rabbit hole, this hit me right away. The idea of kind of bringing to light, it feels like this world is always trying to get put into war. And the idea of kind of bringing to light all of this. You've got these hilarious traits on all these different countries. You have almost these like stereotypical traits that are being mixed between countries. Uh, I really like the fun nature of it, and I want to kind of get into your creation of this idea.
Yeah, if we're being real honest, I had been following. The team is our longtime Phantom DeFi DGens, but I had been kind of following the start of the NFT community on Phantom, and just thinking of like, what can I like? I think this is something I think I can contribute here, but like I didn't know what it was. And then one night, I quite literally woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, what if we made like cut out all the countries and gave them weapons, like just like in the middle of the night, I woke up. That came to mind. I got to my computer. I said, Triton, what do you think about this? Can you mock something up? Triton came back with the first drafts for the countries, and I said, yeah, absolutely, we're fucking doing this. He basically took my idea, put it into something that like was tangible, and we ran with it, and we built the team. And he said, we're making this. We're gonna be, and I think we're basically one of the I don't want to say I don't know the number, but we're one of the OG Phantom NFT projects. Like we're one of the OGs there. And we built GameFi was always the goal. It was always like the end game. But at the start, we didn't know what was possible, so we started with a gamified experience without being a game. So animations. If you visit the website and mint a card, there's an unboxing animation for every card, and we have the live background. Like we tried to, prior to the game itself, tried to gamify the entire experience so that it was more than just a transaction. We didn't want people jumping on the site, clicking a button, and that's the end of it. We wanted to make the entire process enjoyable. So that's why we built out those like uh, unboxing animations and whatnot. These things that took longer to polish, but it kind of made the entire experience more than just like a simple click button done type thing. Um, and then we basically took that to the next level, and he said, okay, we made this. It's good. It's what we want it to be. But the final goal was a game. Like, let's make that game now. So we kind of put our heads down, and that's what we've been working on.
Sorry, I'm not. Sorry, I wasn't
Let's get
talking
into
much because I don't know enough about it. We talked the other day. All I know is I knew enough to go buy a bunch after we talked, because the game sounded cool. But I know that Tinfoil's been like hoarding your cards for a while, waiting for this, and so I figure I'm just going to stay quiet over here, and so don't be waiting on me to talk. So.
No, I'm really looking forward to the game aspect. I mean, we have been collecting these cards. I think they're just a hell of a lot of fun to collect. You've got some different levels to these. There's different rarity ranks. If we can dive into that just a little bit, because I'm looking at some of my cards. I've got an Antarctica that says it's rare. It's got an A with 4 stars, and that's beside a Brazil common card that's a C with 1 star. Do you want to just explain that mechanism just a little bit?
Yeah. So
Brighton is the
with
guy,
NF,
the mind behind this.
what happened was I saw like all the generative projects, and a lot of them have some very very complicated rarity, and some of them have it simple. And since we were doing trading cards, I really wanted them to look like the cards you'd get as a kid, with like the ways they tell you how rare they are without you needing to know every single piece of information about the deck. So what I did was I turned like the rarity tiers of traits, just like every punk's trait has a certain perceived rarity usually. I assign them into tiers, and the higher tiers give gold stars, and the lower tiers give silver stars. a gold star is worth 50, a silver star is worth 25. So that way, like the actual rarity score, you just look at a card's stars and you can kind of compare them without ever thinking about numbers.
Right. Okay. Cool. That's very cool to know. Now, does that mechanism come into the game aspect of it?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's get into this.
I'll have to share some links in the chat later, but essentially, the rarity of every card is plugged into like a category based on what continent the card is from. So every continent in the game, because we have 195 countries, basically every country on the planet. Every continent has a different stat balance between their HP, their attack, their defense, and their speed. And it's based on like population and land mass. I don't want to get into it without getting crazy complicated over speech because I'm not the best at that, but every continent plays differently and it's tied to the geography sort of, and it's cool. And then rarer cards have higher stats, but the stats are still weighted with that balance based on the continent. So you get some interesting matchups when you mix continents, even when the rarities are different.
Right. So it is elaborate. Like it's one of those things where you should read the docs. I know you mentioned that there's a strategy guide. Yeah, Voodoo, read the docs. No, that's super awesome. So let's get into the details on like when is game launching? When are we gonna be able to start playing this? And then I want to get into how does Potluck Labs come into all this? So let's start with details of when and where we're going to be able to play this.
So we do launch. Yeah,
he's got it. Tomorrow. We have not announced the time yet. That'll probably be coming later today. The team, including Triton, he hasn't slept yet. Just for context, this man worked all through the night coding the game. So we're in grind mode right now. But quite literally, he's on 0 hours of sleep at the moment. The team is just putting the finishing touches on it. It's launching tomorrow. We'll probably be announcing the exact time later today. I just want to quickly mention in terms of the like Tinfoil said, it's pretty intricate. That was something that we were like was important to us. We really do feel like this game is going to be the best, if not one of the best games on all of Phantom when it launches tomorrow. Like there's a level of detail in this that I don't think has really been seen in blockchain games, specifically on like a lot of games. We felt as if blockchain, which is really cool, but people also were giving the games a pass on their level of detail and intricacy. Blockchain, where it's like, oh no, like I know, but it's on the blockchain, so it's fine. Like it's, we tried to do something that was good, not for a blockchain game, but was good. Period. Like we didn't want to just be good for a blockchain game. We wanted a game that was intricate and detailed, and there was real strategy involved. It wasn't just chance based and like something we could, be proud to put our name on without any caveats, essentially.
No, and I can respect the hell out of that. All right, so let's get into how is this going to work? It from not a Potluck Labs standpoint, but just as a Weaponized Countries holder. I'm assuming I have to hold a card to be able to play the game. Is it free to play or is there going to be a fee? Let's get into this.
It was important to us as a team from the start. If you own a card, you should be able to play the game. We didn't. So if you already bought into the project or you won a card, whatever, if you're part of the community, you should be allowed to play. So for us, that was super important. So there is a free to play option that anyone who has a card can play, and we welcome everyone to try it out. We want this to be accessible to as many people in the Phantom community as possible. So if you hold a card, you're playing, period. But we also had a lot of demand for like a betting or like a higher stakes option. So we also have a 3-tier system for betting Phantom. We haven't released the we'll alpha here. It's going to be 2, 5, and 10 Phantoms. So you'll be able to pick between whatever betting you've chosen, and you'll be matched up with someone else willing to bet the same amount. You'll jump in, and you'll play for the pot against whoever that person that you're queued up with is.
Ooh, Degen's getting a Degen. I like this. Now, is it like a one country versus one country thing, or do you have like a hand of countries?
So at launch, it's country versus country to get people to have a feel for the types, the matchups, and whatnot, and just get their feet wet with sort of the mechanics of the game.
Yep.
But we've designed it from the ground up so that like 2v2 is happening. We don't have any date set for it, but we're making like systems so that the cards can have synergy. Maybe you can swap them out. Like all of that is coming.
Damn. All right. So now let's get into where Potluck Labs comes into this. Triton, you're on the bobbleheads team, and we just had this, feeling like a similar YouTube conversation just last week about, the ability for Potluck Labs to take over the bobbleheads on a monthly basis and to use our labs kind of raffle tokens. What's the game plan going in with Weaponized Countries here?
All right, so right off the bat, it's probably easy to guess. We want betting with the labs token in there, so we're gonna make that happen once it's launched. The winner takes the pot, either 10% burn or 10% house fee. We'll see what happens, and we'd love to work with you guys to do some parties with the game sometimes, even if it's just in Discord or if it's just on Twitter for a bit. But get some people playing against each other and having fun and talking about it. Hell, I don't know if we can have an event that we schedule sometimes depending on what the player base is like, but we'd love to work with you guys with more than just having the labs token thrown in a tier that's kind of tucked away on the website. We want to have fun.
Right. No, 100%. I like the concept because, we were a couple months ago, we were constantly doing these voice chats and video chats in the rabbit hole, like on a nightly basis. And all of a sudden we'd have 25 of us in there, and Double Eyes would come in and be like, all right, we're going to start some Phantoms duels. And we literally spend 2.5 hours in there, literally just dueling each other in Phantoms.
Yeah.
Now, what your guys' stuff kind of gets me a lot more excited because I know the amount of UI effort that's got put into it. It's my one issue with Phantoms was that it takes a while for things to happen. So I'm really excited to the idea of hosting these game nights and stuff like that. I think we had a great conversation with Trader Joe today, and they're just so looking forward to the idea of Potluck building community, no matter what chain it's on. So, for me, I look at this as it helps us because it gives us something to play and to host these events. I don't have to do bingo nights all the time. We can do Weaponized Country night, So I really appreciate this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think
really...
on the playing game side, community events and things, I think it'd be super cool because we can, for one of our mint parties, we could actually do giveaways of like Weaponized Countries, cards, and then we could do just like you do the bingo. We could do a tournament or a game afterwards. It could be a lot of fun for sure. Do some nice screen sharing. I mean, heck, we could even just go head to head. We could play for it's kind of like strip poker, but we just bet our clothes in each round.
I'll pay to watch that.
Well, I was just wondering, like, how long it would take for everyone to stop watching. Like, it would probably not take too many layers before we had 0 viewers left and we could end the party. So,
I'm looking forward to it.
And the way the game is set up, and obviously our integration with Potluck Labs as like a partner pool within the game as well. I think the game is really well set up, as you guys all mentioned, specifically for making like game nights. So every server has their game nights, has their let's just all hang out in voice chat. And sometimes it's hard to find something specifically on Phantom right now that like really works for that kind of group and that dynamic. So not only integrating the labs token as a betting pool will we can host like labs only tournaments and stuff. We can make exclusive giveaways, tournaments, challenges specifically for those pools. But on top of that, I think our game works really well for those group night type things. And we plan to host those in our Discord. Obviously, like we'd love to do the labs. Obviously, the rabbit hole is perfect for this. You know, those kind of people that want to be able to like just hang out and do something. I think our game works well for that. And like you're going to be able to play against the people that you're hanging out with, right? And with us having the free and the paid option, I think it lets everyone access it. You know, if someone doesn't have fancies that weekend, like they can still play. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And the game's just like party game. That's a good way to put it. Like it's got that. I know it's 1v1 right now, but it does have that Mario Party style like specific like include Discord as part of that. It has that Mario Party style like togetherness that can be built, and tournaments and challenges all work really well with it.
So just to get a slight understanding on how it might look tomorrow, I'm gonna go on the website at some point. Now, if I want to do a bet, so I'll do a two phantom bet pool. Are you basically being thrown into a queue where you might get matched up against anybody that's kind of in that same bet pool, or is there going to be an ability to like I can challenge this person and we can go at it?
So tomorrow on launch, it's going to be just based on the pools. Once you queue up, the next person to join gets matched up with you. There's no complex waiting process at the moment. One thing that me and the other dev are looking at doing is more of like a profile system where if you want to set a nickname for your wallet address, you can do that.
Yeah.
And along with that, there'd be other things like you can maybe have a queue that's based on the wallet address so that you could like say, I'm in queue, come play with me at this address to your buddy or something if you want to go head to head. It's things like that are super easy to do.
Yeah, that's wicked. I guess one of my last questions on that kind of the game. I'm assuming are you guys having like a leaderboard? Are you gonna have like a leaderboard thing going on?
Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
There's leaderboard and ELO and everything.
Wow, very cool.
So
no, I'm looking forward to this, man.
If I name my wallet, can it only be like one nickname? Like nobody else can take that nickname. So if I choose to be Tweak's daddy, nobody else could be known as Tweak's daddy, right? Just me and my wallet.
Well, when that comes to be, that's going to be all from community input. So we'll see what kind of feedback we're getting.
Well,
so your feedback just then.
Yeah, I think it's obvious the community wants me to be known as Tweak's daddy. Is
that because you outbid him the other day or something?
No, I've never once outbid him in my life. But that is a separate conversation. Separate deal. Oh man. Hey, don't you have a video? I just said, don't you? Like I'm in Canada with Tinfoil. Don't you guys have a good video about this that we can play? Plot twist, you got it. Maybe we can play the video, just give people a little preview, and then we can hop back in here for any last thoughts.
Introducing the all-new Weaponized Countries GameFi experience, Weaponized Arena. This is the first fully on-chain strategy trading card game where you can attack and defend in real time with full animations and sound. Earn Phantom in the high-stakes battle arena or play for free with your friends to see who will dominate the world and become the ultimate weaponized champion. With thousands of cards to choose from, pick your champion and jump into battle. To ensure you face cards on your level, we've added an ELO ranking system to help you claim victory in the arena and climb to the top of the leaderboard. The all-new Weaponized Arena, the future of GameFi.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
All right. All right.
Wait, so
Right?
is that ELO ranking system, is that going to be applicable day one, or is that coming later?
That's something that we have to build out with the player base. So day one, it's not affecting matchmaking, but we know exactly how we're going to implement it.
Yeah, makes sense. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm fired up. These are the type of games where if you didn't have the betting aspect, I don't know if people would want to do it because we're a bunch of degenerates, and it's like, dude, we can bet on this, let's go. You know, I didn't buy all these NFTs just to play for free. I want to bet. So
I had a couple Astro kids on last night's Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Yep.
betting NFTs on it. Nice.
I'm up a couple Astro kids today.
no, I would have beat you if
Yeah.
you would have responded, or if I would have seen your response, because you said you were taking the Rams, and I asked if you were taking the money line. Because if you were taking the money line, I was going Bengals, and Rams didn't cover, so I would have had me an Astro kid. But
No, it's funny. I seen that money line tweet, and I had to go send some tweets out to make some confirmations because I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't even think about the money line." Like,
yeah, no, you gotta. I was like, man, you're picking the
Yeah.
obvious favorite. You know, we gotta do that. So I wonder if, I guess, yeah, it says in your game it's going to match people up evenly. The bets don't need to be like skewed based on your ranking or anything. So, is there going to be like a really good YouTube tutorial for those of us who refuse to read docs that will like tell us here's the strategies you should take so you don't suck and lose all the time?
That's something
It's
we
very
can get done.
intuitive. UI is very intuitive. You'll figure out how to play the game. The strategy, I think you're going to either learn by reading or learn by getting your ass beat, and then slowly figuring out why you got your ass beat. I feel like those are the two roads here.
I guess it depends on how degen the player base is, because there's a huge scale of degen, right? It is very
it's
intuitive,
crypto.
though.
It's a crypto player base.
Yeah. So we'll throw you out to the wolves for a while.
Article I put out is like a 2-minute read. Like, I promise you, it's you can handle it. It's not that bad.
Yeah, the thing is, I am a reader. Like, I read a lot of books. I mean, I've literally read like a book a week for like 10 plus years. So I'm a reader. But when it comes to video games, I've never read any booklet or anything. Like, I got the new Oculus because Tinfoil told me I had to be in the metaverse if I was going to like sell stuff in the metaverse. And so those games, if you don't understand how that thing, like, I've still yet to like even get past 2 seconds in a game because I don't know the rules or how it works because I won't read anything. So just realize there's people like us out there that we're going to learn by getting our butt kicked. So.
Well, see, that's why the free tier is good, because you can learn without losing your fancies.
Well, the good thing is we can play with labs, and so we can still bet and get that fun, even though it doesn't really have real world value like Phantom. So I think that will be a great way for people to do it. So
You're right. It is kind of fun where it's not a free game. Like it's that in between where it's not free. You're not spending your fanties, but there's something on the line with the labs token. So I do like that.
Yeah. Well, what time's the launch again? Or we don't know exactly yet because you're still squashing bugs. Or what should people look for? Just follow you on Twitter, follow what's happening. Go, like, first off, where should they go mint some right now? Tell us about that, because it's still open for mint. Because to play the game, you're going to need the cards. Also, I saw you're on PaintSwap, Opera House, NFT Key, I believe, but I think only PaintSwap had only a few listed. And then they can go mint. So tell people where they can go find you, where they can mint at, and if you have any type of promotion going on with the mints. I think you mentioned that the other day.
So obviously, head over to weaponizedcountriesnft.com. That's our site. The game will obviously also be on that site. We have buy one, get one on all mints right now. So whether you're minting one card or the G24 pack, for example, you're getting double your cards. So no matter how many cards you're buying, you're getting double right now, which is awesome. The game time exactly hasn't been announced, but it will be tomorrow. Definitely jump in the server, not only just because that's where you get info first, but also because we're obviously going to all be playing together when it launches. So jump in the Discord server. The Twitter is also a great place to follow us to get updates. And yeah, we are on all the big marketplaces: PaintSwap, Opera House, NFT Key. But yeah, there's not a lot of cards listed, and frankly, with the unboxed animations and stuff, like, it's definitely fun. If you're just getting into it, I would recommend you get your first card on the website, just because it's a whole experience that you won't get with the secondary market. So
No, it was really cool. I just went minted a free one.
tweeted
That's
at you,
awesome.
my guy. I think you have quite a few free ones.
Yeah, I just minted one. Watched the animation, and it's such a cool experience. Like, this is something you don't get from other projects, to be honest.
So
You say that because that was the goal.
you haven't been paying attention to our talk. You've just been over there minting things.
Yeah, I just started minting.
Tin boy.
Typical
Getting ready to
tinfoil.
play. Getting
Good
ready to
job.
play.
Yeah.
Well, on day one, I'm quitting. I'm leaving. That's the end of it for me. It's my if I lose to tinfoil on day one, that's it for me.
Yeah. I'm putting fannies down tomorrow.
I think if the amount of cards has anything to do with whether you win or lose, tinfoil is probably going to win. But I'm excited to see, man. I'm excited for the game. I'm excited for just more application for Potluck Labs holders to be able to do something, have some utility. But also just excited that our community can be brought in, bring attention to the incredible work you're doing, because we were just on the call, like Tinfoil mentioned, with Trader Joe, the biggest decks on AVAX, because they're launching a curated NFT marketplace. So it's going to be super sick, and they want Potluck Labs on it, which would be super cool. So we're excited about that. I had to drop alpha. Someone in the chat wanted alpha. There's alpha.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But then you got a lot of background noise there, I think, Kool-Aid. And then on top of that, thinking about the conversation was like GameFi. They said, hey, your roadmap say GameFi. What are you going to do? And I was like, weaponized countries and bobbleheads. That's basically the honest answer was, look, we're not game devs, but we know everybody wants utility and everybody wants to be able to play awesome games on the blockchain. And so we don't expect to make them. We just have awesome people that are already doing it, that if our ecosystem can partner with them and support their game and bring users to their game, well, that's a win. And then if in turn they can give some type of special utility to our labs token and to all our holders, then it's a win-win. And I just love, Triton, that both your projects that you're really a part of right here, or the two that we've just talked about, are going to be something that's incredible for all fandom, not just us, but that also Potluck Labs holders will have some awesome special utility. And so we're just so appreciative of what you guys have been building, and that Weaponized Country is going to be out. I'm super excited. Like I said, bought a stack of them 2 days ago, so I'm excited to play tomorrow. And but I hope you guys aren't saying it's tomorrow, like my local, there's a local restaurant, and it's got a sign up that says free beer tomorrow. And the sign never changes. The sign never changes. So I'm hoping that you're not going to rug us and just keep saying tomorrow, because Kool-Aid Man's not doc. So I don't know. He might be done.
Well, secret alpha here. Mainnet testing is already happening, so we won't be changing many dates around.
That's awesome.
So
Well,
it's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be one of the best, if not the best game on all of Phantom. I will put my non-docked self in front of that claim. It's that goddamn good. The team has worked so hard on this for so long. We're delivering on the promises we made on day one. We stuck around. We're here. We're going to show you guys what we've been working on. We are so excited. Not only are we proud of what we've done, but we're also excited for everyone else to be able to enjoy it, because that was always the goal. We always wanted to do something that was very community focused and something that everyone could kind of connect with other people around and have fun with. So we're super proud of this. We're excited to share with you guys tomorrow. If you haven't grabbed some cards, do it. Even if even those who don't want to buy in, by all means, jump in the Discord, jump in the Twitter. Maybe you'll win a giveaway and you can at least meet some new people. And we're super goddamn excited, guys. Honestly, it's been a long road, but we're here. So
yeah, it is super exciting. I just took a look on PaintSwap. There's only 9 cards on PaintSwap, so there's some opportunities to go scoop some up and then get minting, ladies and gents.
Yeah, I was thinking about, for you guys, last final thoughts here. I'm just excited as we close this broadcast. I'm excited for you to get to experience it tomorrow with your community, especially in Discord, where you get that live feedback of people playing and the people that have been there supporting you from the beginning, or maybe for the last month or 2 months, that have been anticipating this. Because one thing we always talk about with our generative projects is the mint day for the artist it's the first time they're seeing people experience the art. And for a lot of times, it's the first time they're actually seeing the art. Now, for you guys doing a GameFi, like an actual game, this is the first time you get to see the community actually play your game and get to enjoy it and get to experience what you've been building with your heart and soul for the last 7+ months or however long it's been. So I'm really excited for you as creators and just as business people that have been working so hard to deliver this, to finally be able to see other people enjoy it versus saying win game, win game. Finally, everything will change. So excited for y'all. Thank you for being on our show. I'm glad that we just got to bring some attention and awareness to what's happening with your project. And thank you for giving utility to our holders, man. We really appreciate it.
And then thanks for having us again. It's always nice leaving my mark on the space and our team leaving our mark on the space, learning new things. Like, take Phantom to the moon, take the space to the moon. Everybody wins.
That's right.
Of you, first of all, True Voodoo, for basically like hearing about us, I don't know, a couple days ago and being like, okay, this is pretty, I'm willing to learn more. Like, I appreciate you just even, giving us the time of day. And obviously, Tinfoil, you've been a day one, so like we appreciate the support. We're super excited to work with Potluck on obviously the tournaments and the utility for the Labs token very shortly too. That's not like a way down the road thing. We can get that popping right away, so we're excited about that as well. And honestly, thank you to Phantom and the entire community around it, because as like an OG Phantom project, we really felt like the was there for us and has been there for us. So we owe it all to all of you. Like, the team didn't make the project, the community made the project, and we truly believe that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Awesome. That's a perfect way to wrap it up. Well, thank you all for joining us live. Those of you in the chat, we really appreciate you. Share it on socials. Go support them tomorrow. And for everyone watching later, we love you. Like, subscribe. I've never said that on any of these before. Then I realized that when you do a YouTube show, if you want people to watch it, you have to say, smash those likes and hit subscribe, all that crap. So appreciate y'all. And we'll be back tomorrow for another edition of NFT Alpha with Jack Schur painting live, possibly doing nude painting. So we don't know. I'm just saying it could happen. I don't know. So you never know. We just want to let people like Bush Doctor in the audience know that this could be a fun time. So for everyone on here, Tinfoil, True Voodoo's out. We'll see y'all next time.